Yes, this is almost a push button today. It's interesting. I'm Harvey Greenwald. I've been coming to the bank, I don't know how many years now, a number of years. What series is this, the fourth we're doing? I don't have any idea. Anyway, Hayden had mentioned to me about a song. It's interesting because I picked out some of these lyrics, and these actually are songs as opposed to poems, although they're poetic, definitely poetic. In fact, it's very interesting because the lyrics to this I wrote, and someone heard these lyrics. I said, I like it a lot, but Joni Mitchell wrote a song about circle game. I never heard the song, and I wrote this, and it's called Circle Game. and I heard hers. I heard her last night. There was a memorial on Channel 13, which they replayed, the Schubert Award for lyrics and stuff. And I love a lot of her lyrics and her music and her writing and some of her painting. She's quite a gal. Anyway, I'm not much of a singer, it's a problem for me. They told me in school I wasn't staying in key, or I should hum or move my lips, but I always sang until they caught me, And don't worry, they were waiting in the wings to catch me. But anyway, I'm going to read, this is called Another Time, or it was the Circle Game. Another time, another place, I seem to know the face, but what's your name? 1,000 years for one more dance. The shadows creep for kings who sleep. Things long past rise from the deep. You touch my life, and bound we are in the circle game. We walked ashore, your hand in mine, among the throng of every kind. But what's your name? In the waste the garden grew. The earth does shake the sleeping snake who stretches out his eyes awake. You touch my life, and bound we are in the circle game. A tower built to touch the sky, we stood and wonder why. But what's your name? Many tongues of which none knew. Warriors yell the battle cry. The tower falls down in its lie. You touch my life, and bound you are in the circle game. We are, not you are. No, yeah. The winter came, we ate dried meat. In robes of buffalo we did sleep. But what's your name? I gave your father 3 horses. Ancient ones live in the stone. Upon the wind their wailful moan. You touch my life, and bound we are in the circle game. I wrote that about 45 years ago. And several people are going to put it to music, but I guess they had one too many, or just you know how it works.
Just hasn't happened.
If you could fatten up on promises, I'd never get through the door, But that isn't the way it works. And I was going to read one other. I have 3 sets of lyrics, but I thought they rhyme. And actually, I think that's good lyrics in that piece, actually. And I'm told, well, Joni Mitchell wrote the Circle Game. I said, well, I'd love to hear it, I mean, it touched on a similar subject, but in a whole different manner. Would you like to hear that, or a regular poem?
Read what you want to read.
Okay, yeah. This is called Ship of Fools. It was another song. I think you'll all be familiar with the subject, since we've all been on board. Just keep rowing, fellow rowers, It's the same old story, all about a ship of fools. Everybody shouting, Captain, better play it by the rules. And it sure does, yes, it sure does, look like rain. It's the same old story about those who will and those who won't. Those who try to climb the mountain and and those who simply don't. And it sure does, and it sure does look like rain. There are road maps, there are highways that number every mile. There are sowers, there are reapers, and the little children smile. The sun, and it sure does look like rain, a refrain. The sun just keeps on rising, goes down so I can sleep, and it really doesn't worry if it shines on saint or thief. And it sure does, oh, it sure does look like rain. It's the same old story, all about a ship of fools. Everybody shouting, Captain, better play it by the rules. And it sure does look like rain. Yeah,
When did you write that?
that one was written even earlier than the other one, you know.
So you've been talented your whole life.
Yeah, but they wanted me to be a Hummer. And I always, and I,
Trust me, it's not as good as they make it sound.
You're good, you're good. Yeah, you're good, you know. Yeah, so anyway, along with that, it's interesting because about a week ago, something came up here. Yeah. One of the earliest times I came here, we were sitting over there, and as we were reading and so on, you kept hearing these sirens and hearing these sirens. And I'm thinking about Newburgh because Newburgh was a center of leather production for many years. There were over 36 factories. And how I know that is I used to come down here. I was a leather craftsman for a long time, and they let me use their equipment because whole sections, you know, they were really generous. Yeah, go ahead, use all the, nothing was being used. They were slowly phasing out because of imports and switching to plastics. And that, well, I'm going to read this. This poem was inspired by that siren. And it really happens that way, but it's, would you believe it, it's called Newburgh. In Newburgh, they go racing by, the blast of sirens, speeding to destinations by those who are employed. Generations who have little work, the factories left, they didn't, waiting for the years of coming back. Top of the hill, Broadway to the river, wide with promise and burnt out dreams. How many high roads go down to waters, rivers, bays, sounds? Wide Broadways carry wood, blocks, chicken, eggs, milk, cream, food to feed and build cities. The Hudson Highway delivers up and down with the tide. The trains came, the trucks, the factories, the people with hope to prosper. Some did. The river still flows up and down. The need to ride it slowed to faster roads for delivery. The ferry to Beacon for workers who to ride the rails to New York City, a faster road. From top of the hill to the river, the never left scrambled to keep it together for the coming back. Sunday mornings in Newburgh, in the churches, many prayers said in Spanish for the coming back. Silent, shattering sirens announce the racing to destinations by those who are employed. That's the Newburgh. That's it for today.
Very good.
You're pretty accurate.
The image, you're from here.